Hi there guys, this is Flash M97 and today we're going to be taking a look at something particularly special. Over the past couple of years I've not really uploaded that much, but I've recently saved up enough to get a Springfield 1903 by S&T. The S&T 1903 is a fantastically built piece and a rather rare bit of kit to see in the UK. Very seldom do UK retailers actually keep them in stock. There are only 3 or 4 that I've actually found, and I purchased mine from extremeairsoft.co.uk down in Leicester. If you want to check out the website, please go ahead. That's extremeairsoft.co.uk. And yeah, we're taking a look at all features of the gun, including magazine, safety, FPS, and build quality, which I seem to talk about a fair amount. So yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy the review. Hi, my name's Flash M97, but you can call me Matt. And today we have a special review for you for the S&T Armament Springfield 1903. The Springfield 1903 was the first-rate service rifle from 1903 up until about 1928 when it was replaced by the M1 Garand. It served long into Korea and also for designated marksman's rifles in Vietnam that was eventually phased out by the M40 and M14. In terms of the rifle itself, it is of wood and metal construction and at a very considerable length. In terms of its weight, it does have quite a nice heft to it, but not really got any complaints about the build quality at all. The bolt could always do with a little bit of grease straight out of the box, as that does grind just a little bit. I ordered this from extremeairsoft.co.uk, and when it initially first arrived, I'd seen that the one that they had sent me was in fact a dud. However, I contacted the company and they sent me another one very promptly, and also commented my postage. In terms of FPS for the rifle, you're looking at a solid 425, with what I run with .25 BBs, which means that for some sites you may have to do a 20-meter engagement. However, with a gun like this, where you can really reach out and touch people at quite a hell of a distance, that shouldn't be too much bother. I have not had a chance to field this at my airsoft site that I locally play at. However, with shooting some cans in the garden, I can say that the accuracy does not leave much to be desired. Extremely accurate, and with a very nice hop-up unit that is located here, and I'll get a better camera angle for that here, just there. To slide back is to engage more hop, and to slide forward is to engage less hop. Obviously, hop-up is when it puts a backspin on the BB to give it a slightly farther travel range. In terms of sights, as opposed to the 1903 standard, this is the 1903A4, which has a aperture sight rather than a tangent or leaf sight. It is also a close eye relief or short eye relief sight. As you can see here, it is adjustable for both windage with this knob here, and elevation by simply just sliding this back and forth. However, you won't really need to adjust the sights that much, as these sights usually start off at, accurate to 100 meters and then so on and so forth. So if you're engaging people at 1.5 kilometers, airsoft's probably not the sport for you. Now, in terms of the actual rifle itself, the 1903, as I said, was used predominantly during the First World War by the US side, although due to production complications, it was most notably that was the American Enfield, or 1917 Enfield rifle, which is a British rifle in design, or which is commonly known as the P14 in Britain, was then sent across to the US and rechambered for 30-06 rounds, and due to the fact that it was firing rimmed rounds, you could fit 6 in the internal magazine instead of 5. Speaking of magazines, this one uses a very strange proprietary magazine that I haven't seen before. I don't know if S&T used the same model on the Arasaka Type 38. However, it's very different from a VSR-10 mag. Normally the VSR-10, the mag is located somewhere up here, normally where you have your forward hand. The rifle 1903 uses a very strange magazine, which I actually very much like. Normally, you have here the floor plate of the 5-round internal magazine that we normally load a stripper clip into the top of the breech. You simply fold out this, as a wee hook there, pull that out, and this opens up the floor plate. As opposed to the magazine being directly in, you have to reach forward, so it's sat about the same area that the VSR-10 mag normally would be. You simply pull back, nice and gentle, and you have yourself a magazine here. Magazine approximately holds roughly 15 to 20 rounds. Obviously you don't want to load it up the full way because that can put undue pressure on the spring, decreasing the longevity of the magazine as a whole. As said, I paid £278 for this, plus also next day delivery, and was very, very happy to see just how good it is. In terms of safety, we have the traditional safety that is found on all Mauser style rifles, which the 1903 certainly is. It's a copy of the 1898 Mauser, so much so that Mauser even took Springfield to court and wanted royalties on $1 for every rifle made and 50 cents on every stripper clip made. However, due to the war and the Central Powers losing, the case was ultimately thrown out, and Germany was given a whole bunch of war debt and was unable to sue Springfield Armory anyway. So, what we have here is we have what's called a blade or leaf safety. Now, this, similar to a Mauser, means you can fire, and up means you can also fire but not work the bolt. Sadly, mine does not work like that, and you can still work the bolt where it normally would not be able to. Over to this side means that you are trigger safe, but bolt can also once again still function. Now, what would normally be a case of the magazine cutoff, which was a feature put onto things like the SMLE Mark III and earlier Mausers, where normally you would have a repeating rifle where you can fire, rechamber, and fire again, feeding from the 5-round internal magazine. Certain powers wanted to be able to have a magazine cutoff, which means you'd have to go back, chamber a new round in, forward, and fire without actually engaging the magazine. So that in the event things got a bit dicey, you could simply turn the magazine on and begin feeding from the magazine. We have this feature here for the magazine cutoff, same place it normally would be on the 1903, simply here, and then folds down. Obviously this doesn't work as a magazine cutoff, but instead works as your bolt safety. So when engaging the rear safety to safe and the magazine cutoff to off, you're unable to pull the trigger, nor are you able to rack the bolt. This gives you the highest level of safety that I've seen on a bolt action rifle in quite some time. In terms of your sling mounts, you have 3 sling mounts here. You have one up the front, one at the shim midway down, and one at the end of the stock. Currently I have mounted a Mauser Kar 98K sling, as I'm fielding this with my World War I German Bavarian infantry loadout from 1916, as Gewehr 98s are very difficult to find, and I just don't quite like a Kar 98 as much as I used to. Personally, I really enjoy this rifle, as the ergonomics feel fantastic despite the fact there is no wrist on the stock. It is just a straight stock, which normally when firing a real 30-06 round would decrease your recoil stability, but as we're only firing 6mm pellets, we don't feel any desirable recoil whatsoever. Moving to the back of the gun, we have the rear plate, which normally a cleaning kit would be housed in here. Now S&T have gone to the trouble of not only fitting this floor plate, or this rear plate, but also fitting the ability to open up the trapdoor where the cleaning kit would normally be kept. It also gives you a little bit of depth in there, but not quite enough to fit a magazine, which is a shame. You could probably put some spare BBs, or, you know, if you could fit a roll of fruit pastels in there, so be it. I probably will do that in the future. In terms of the sights, as I've said, you've got a really nice aperture sight, which is fully adjustable, but the front sight as well is just a standard blade sight. No hood for protection. Some 1903s did have sight hoods to protect the front blade itself, but yep, fairly simple and can be changed on windage via a small grub screw at the front. In terms of build quality, I would certainly rank this very highly. The real wood and the fantastic finish alongside the all metal construction really holds its own. And when you chamber that round, you get a really nice feeling to it. It has a really nice sense of stability. The thing is though, it is only a half travel bolt and would not travel the full way back. Normally you'd be travelling at least another, say, 2 or 3 inches. But as we're not chambering a real 30-06 case, we don't necessarily need to do that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else really to say about this rifle other than just how fucking well it's made. It is It is a really, really beautiful bit of kit. I will be fielding this soon with my World War One kit that I've been building over the past couple of years. You can see my previous video on that. The World War One kit has since developed a lot since the last time I made a video on it. I will be looking to make more videos as I've got some more time before I'm set back to be starting business again. If there's anything else you would like to see or any suggestions, please leave a comment, like and subscribe if you somehow feel the need to. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Flash 97 out.